Hello everyone, Sabaki here, and this is everything you need to know about Aska's 5th major update, Outposts and Lakes. Starting with Outposts, wow, just wow. For anyone who enjoys setting up distant settlements specializing in gathering a particular resource, or, just for the fun of it, the new Outpost building is going to make your life and the lives of your villagers a whole lot easier. The best way I can describe Outposts is that they are an amped up warehouse that can be filled with storages and delivered to and from by a market worker, just like regular warehouses, but unlike a regular warehouse, Outposts come with a very special area of effect flag that assigns anything within it, be it villagers, buildings, or resources, to that outpost and that outpost only. It's basically an automatic whitelist feature that stops anyone from your main village making those super inefficient trips where they would walk 5 miles across the map to grab one fish. Instead, you're going to be relying on a network of market routes to ship resources that are stored in an outpost to where it needs to go. Just keep in mind that this automatic whitelisting also works in reverse, meaning that any villagers living and working in the outpost will no longer be making those same trips back to your main village for things they need. So just be sure to have shipments of tools, food, and anything else your outpost will be needing in order to run smoothly and without incident. Just be aware that the outpost storage area is on the smaller side, so consider building a traditional warehouse should your budding little community start producing more items than the outpost building can handle. Some other things to know about Outposts: you can manually assign buildings and resource flags to Outposts by using this drop down from the building menu. You can also change the name and highlight color of your outpost, which is nice. Outposts also come with a builder's post attached that functions the same way as a builder's hut. More on that later though. Honestly, the new Outpost building and the mechanics behind it are phenomenal and will absolutely improve the quality of your resource gathering and logistics. The devs really hit the nail bang on the head with this addition, and I cannot wait to start my new series and go absolutely ham colonizing every corner of the island. I wonder how many times I said outpost in that section. The next big ticket item for this update is the new lake biome. Not only is this biome gorgeous, it's actually super helpful for when you want to build more inland due to the abundance of reeds which are required for upgrading buildings to their advanced tier, as well as making beds in your houses. Lakes are also home to 3 new species of fish, so it's nice to know that my fishing guide that I released a few weeks ago is already outdated. Thanks very much, devs. Please note that because lakes are part of a new biome, you will need a new save in order to see them in game, and they will not generate in your current saves. Be sure to leave the names and settings for any good seeds in the comments below. Having a lake near a cave sounds like an absolute win for me. I mean, who doesn't want a lakeside property these days? I want to preface this next section by quickly acknowledging that with each major update, the devs continue to show us that they are both listening to player feedback and willing to add changes to the game that were either previously not listed or kind of low down on their list of priorities. This has been the case with automatic road building, regrowable trees, and infinite iron, and the devs have continued to show this willingness to listen and make changes based on player feedback by introducing a firekeeping job, sort of, by way of the Builder's Hut. The Builder's Hut is located in the new settlement menu and allows you to set priorities for builders. This list functions exactly the same way that a workshop craft priority list does, where tasks are addressed in the order shown. You can rearrange them to your preference by clicking and dragging the task itself, as well as assigning people to and from certain tasks. So, if you wanted to have that dedicated firekeeper going around making sure all your campfires are lit during the winter, all you have to do is assign them to the firekeeping task while also removing them from the others. Lastly, on the topic of firekeeping and lightkeeping jobs, clicking into the task itself displays a schedule much like the villager work schedule, where you can set the hours that you want your torches and campfires either lit or unlit. And for firekeeping specifically, you can also see the fuel priority in this tab. For the love of Odin, turn off thatch and wood shafts as a fuel immediately. In fact, even if you're not in the game, I'm going to need you to pause this video, log into the game, and untick thatch and wood shaft options as fuels for fireplaces. Thank you and you're welcome. Onto the buildings that received improved versions. Farms can now be upgraded, unlocking a 4th field. The devs are also teasing the future addition of more crops. I hope that's a subtle hint for some incoming mead. The upgraded cooking houses come with an oven and unlock a bunch of new pie recipes. Pies are crafted 6 at a time and require eggs in addition to the usual protein, vegetable and water ingredients. Next up, the improved bloomery has a slightly larger furnace which allows for more iron to be smelted at once, as well as larger storage bins for coal, iron ore and bloom. Over at the workshop, the metalworker, leatherworker and carpenter extensions have all got an improved version, but as a result, some recipe unlocks have been impacted, so keep that in mind as you head into this update. The improved metalworker is now required for making those large metal parts, as well as the two-handed weapons and tools. These are no longer able to be crafted in the base metalworker. The improved leather worker unlocks the new heavy pelt cape recipe, an absolutely gorgeous new back piece with a hefty bonus against the cold. These do require the new heavy pelt in order to be crafted, and that only comes from bears, so don't expect all your villagers to be rocking these right out the gate. Or, you know, ever. The improved carpenter doesn't have any new recipes, but the devs do promise better efficiency through improved carpenter AI. We'll see about that, devs. The improved warehouse, just like all the other improved buildings, has improved durability, making it a lot less likely to collapse during a blood moon gone wrong. Speaking of which, when it comes to defense, the barracks and archery ranges both have improved versions and a bit of a tweak to their functions. The basic versions of these buildings will now only train villagers up to combat level 25, and in the case of the barracks, you will not be able to choose your warrior's weapon loadout. Upgrading to the improved versions, however, will allow your archers and warriors to continue gaining levels beyond 25, and again, in the case of the improved barracks, allows you now to choose those weapon loadouts. And finally, walls now contribute to safety and defense score by way of the new wall perimeter system. Enclosing houses within a wall loop will keep your villagers feeling safe and happy, and perimeters are shown on the map, which honestly, that's freaking cool. These player-made additions to the map are getting really, really neat. All of those red lines are my decorative flimsy fences. I do like my flimsy fences, everyone knows that about me by now. And that's it as far as new buildings and the new biome, so now it's time for the quickfire collection of my favourite smaller updates, and as always a link to the full patch notes will be listed below. So starting with the absolute best addition since regrowable trees, you can now reduce or turn off the sound of drinking and eating. Yay! So for old time's sake, this is the sound prior to this update that I will never hear again. Just kidding, it was the first thing I turned off when the patch hit and I'm never turning it back on, not even for a video. You can now open and close gates while pulling sleds, which is really, really neat. The summoning time for villagers now varies based on the current number of villagers you have, so at the start of the game when you have none or few villagers, new ones are summoned faster, while later in the game they are summoned a bit slower. You can also summon villagers back from the dead by using the departed option on the far right. Massive improvements to the villager UI have been made, showing you the proficiencies as well as mastery of all your villagers. That is really handy and makes assigning villagers to the right jobs that much easier. You can right click on a building or villager icon on the map to open its corresponding menu, and holy crap, that is going to make things so much easier, although devs, please add this as an option to flags. I do not want to run around the entire map reassigning every single flag. And finally, another fantastic change, a new menu option can be toggled on or off to stop villagers from waving at you or complaining to you. This option alone is going to increase a villager's daily productivity by at least 42%. And that's everything you need to know about Aska's 5th major update, Outposts and Lakes. Once again, the full patch notes will be listed below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.